Imagine flying at 30,000 feet, heart pounding, engines roaring, bullets whizzing past. The fate of your brothers in arms, and maybe the war itself, rests in your hands. But what if, before you ever climbed into that cockpit, your own country told you that you weren't good enough to fly? This is the untold story of the black fighter pilots of World War II, men who fought on two fronts, against the Axis in the skies and against racism at home. Their courage changed history, but their names were almost forgotten. Until now. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why these pilots were some of the most feared warriors of the war. And hey, before we take off, make sure to subscribe to support the channel. It helps us bring you more incredible hidden history. Before these pilots ever faced the Luftwaffe, they had to face something just as deadly: prejudice. The US military believed black men weren't fit for combat aviation, lacked intelligence, discipline, and courage, they said. Yes, really. But against all odds, the Tuskegee Airmen were born. They trained harder, flew better, and proved that skill knows no color. The training at Tuskegee was brutal. Some washed out, others crashed. Many faced sabotage, yes, even from their own side. One pilot recalled how instructors deliberately withheld flight hours, trying to fail them out. Can you imagine fighting to defend a country that didn't even want you in the cockpit? But those who made it through were tougher than steel, because they had to be. 1943. The first black fighter pilots were deployed to North Africa, but the white bomber crews, they didn't trust them. High command even debated keeping them grounded. Then they got their first mission, escorting bombers deep into enemy territory. The stakes? If they failed, they'd never fly again. Did they succeed? Oh, just wait. They took to the skies. Outnumbered, outgunned, expected to fail. Then the impossible happened. They didn't just complete their mission. They never lost a single bomber. Other squadrons had horrific casualty rates. The Red Tails? 0 losses. Their reputation spread like wildfire. Suddenly, the same white bomber crews who doubted them were now requesting the Tuskegee Airmen as their escorts. The Nazis called them Schwarzbogelmenschen, black birdmen, and they feared them. These pilots took down some of Germany's deadliest aces. They flew missions so dangerous even seasoned squadrons hesitated. One pilot, Charles McGee, flew more combat missions than any other World War II pilot, 409 in total. Let that sink in. 1945. The Allies prepared for the most dangerous bombing raid of the war, Berlin. This was deep inside enemy territory. The Luftwaffe would throw everything they had at them. The Tuskegee Airmen led the way. They fought off jet-powered Nazi planes. They took heavy fire. One pilot shot down 3 enemy aircraft in a single mission. Their performance? Flawless. The war ended. The Tuskegee Airmen came home as heroes. Right? Not exactly. No parades, no medals, just more segregation. Some were even denied jobs as commercial pilots. Imagine surviving dogfights over Berlin, only to be told you couldn't fly a civilian plane back home. But they refused to be erased. Their fight wasn't just for themselves, it was for the future. They paved the way for desegregation in the military, the rise of black astronauts, and even today's Air Force leaders. Every black pilot, every military aviator of color, stands on their shoulders. In 2007, the surviving Tuskegee Airmen finally received the Congressional Gold Medal. And in 2009, when the first black president, Barack Obama, was inaugurated, who sat in the front row? The Tuskegee Airmen. They proved that courage isn't about color, it's about character. Their story was almost forgotten, but not anymore. Now it's your turn. Keep their legacy alive. Share this video, teach others. And if you want to hear more stories like this, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Because history isn't just what happened, it's what we remember. Thanks for watching, and never stop flying.